Hello everyone, this is Sebastian from VR4Player. Today I'm with Arnaud Lebernet, Chris Klein and Robin Andrew from the studio FirePoint Interactive, as we want to know more about the multiplayer arena shooting game Sabre, which is about to be released on our dear PSVR platform. Hello Arnaud, Chris and Robin. Thank you for your time.
Hello.
Hello.
Arnaud can't actually hear us right now, but he's here in spirit.
Yeah, true. Okay, no problem. So, it's not the first time that FirePoint Interactive has released VR games.
Yeah.
Indeed, you have already worked on and launched PC games in VR, such as Tooth and Claw, To the Sea, and Big Spin Slots. Sabre is your first PSVR game then. Is it likely to be the first of many?
Right now, we're focusing on just the release of Sabre as well as some other non-VR titles. But for this one, for PSVR, this is our first, and once we release it, we'll continue to support afterwards, and hopefully engage with the community more.
I see. Okay. So FirePoint Interactive was born in 2016. It's a studio committed to creating video games, but also to esport. What drove you to create this studio? Passion, I suppose. Was it esport of the creativity of working in video games that launched the process?
Well, when I joined back in 2017, the desire was to make an esport title for the stadiums which are being built over in China right now. Over at Shanghai. Shanghai is the one that's being completed. So they wanted to have an esport style game for VR that they could showcase there, and that's when I came on just at the very end of Tooth and Claw. So then we took with some of the knowledge that we had there and we applied it to Sabre. So sort of going from the prehistoric past of Tooth and Claw into the far modern future of Sabre and its mechanical animals.
Yeah. Sabre is a multiplayer shooting game set in arenas, which means nothing for the single player mode. Have you planned to add a few bots, AI, to enable players to have fun offline as well? This is the kind of possibility which I personally enjoy.
We've been working on doing those kind of things, but at launch right now it is just a multiplayer. But we will be, like I said, engaging with community. And for example, if that's that's your favorite way of engaging, it's It hasn't been unheard, so that's why we're actually working still, to support Sabre once it's launched. So that can be a possibility.
Okay, yeah. You want to see if the game works before.
It's a big investment to get the AI working the way that we want it to, and if we can prove out that there are enough people who love the game. And we think there will be, if we have enough community feedback asking for whatever we can add, then we'll add it.
Yeah, that can be like different game modes as well as, like you're saying, sort of like an offline mode as well. But we have a bunch of different modes already in the works.
Okay.
So we'll have to sort of see how things go.
Yeah, see what resonates.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's good to know. Since it's a multiplayer game, you have chosen to enable players to fight against people from all over the world and from different platforms. So it will be possible to take part in big fights against PC players, for instance, which is great as it gives the game more possibilities. However, aren't you scared that PSVR players might be put at a disadvantage since they don't have thumbsticks on their moves? Would you say that it would be better to play the game with the DualShock so as to balance the game level?
Currently, on launch, we're only supporting the Move controllers, and the DualShock is, again, that's something that we're looking to releasing as well. And just for full clarification, this is PSVR only at the moment. We're not doing a PC port, so there won't be any sort of crossplay just yet with any sort of PC players. But again, that's determined if how well people engage with Sabre, and then saying like, oh yeah, I wish I could play this DualShock, and because when you're playing DualShock versus say the motion controllers, we have to just make sure that it's going to be a fair game across the board for everyone. You don't want to have a disadvantage for being more engaged in the controls with move controllers versus thumb controllers having an advantage for that. That's why we're only releasing the one at the moment, and we want to have the one that has the most engagement. That's why the move controllers are at launch.
Okay. Have you think of the aim controller device?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, just at launch we were only supporting the move controllers. Getting my terminology mixed up. I mean, as it is right now, you move with the move controllers. It's actually quite intuitive. It's more intuitive than a tracker, which is pretty intuitive. And you aim with your head and you shoot. So it's pretty natural. In our focus tests, people have picked it up with very little explanation. Like we just kind of show them what button does what, which is basically on the loading screen anyways, and then they just picked it up right away. So
yeah, the entry level is actually quite low for this, but requires more master over time. So pick up and play is been the mandate for this particular title. We just want to have accessibility, so you can just hop in, quickly get into a game, get out of a game, get into another one if you want, and not be fighting or trying to figure out a whole bunch of different controls. So it's very easy.
Okay. Will the game be translated into French?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
Great.
So we had to consult our French expert sitting behind the monitor.
Because many people of our community, VR4Player, want their game in French. So they don't buy it if there is no French on it.
Right. Well, one of the things at immediate launch, right now we have English, but because it's not story-based, it's not very heavy on that. It's very, you can get into a game by a couple of very intuitive presses that says, oh, here's a big start area, and you're just kind of like, okay, let's go now.
Yeah.
Bip, and then off you go.
It's not very, very complicated, I know, but...
No.
There's no story, but some players want it.
I mean, there's a very loose preface, premise is the word I'm looking for. But, we didn't really want to get too heavy-handed with, like, this is exactly what's happening and this is your role in this world. We kind of wanted to keep it light and fun, leave it a bit more open-ended, let people fill in the blanks, So basically, as a player is what you've been recruited into this virtual
arena.
Arena to fight giant robots against each other, and it's like, well, that's good enough for me. Let's fight.
Everyone wants to fight with big robots, so they're like, give us big robots. Oh wait, they're robot animals. Oh, okay, that's even cooler. Oh wait, all your you've got procedural crafted weapons. Oh, that's even more interesting. So why not? So there we go. That's Sabre in a nutshell.
Yeah, but the very least backstory is kind of like, what could be going on?
Yeah.
And, that's something that can develop, organically. And, basically we put a seed and we see what sprouts and see how the community feeds back and that will help, unfold the narrative itself. But it always feels like there's a lot stronger investment in people, coming up with their own theories around, what is that core premise. So. Yeah.
Okay. Sabre is a first-person game, and the player is a mechanical war beast. At first, there will be 3 of them, a wolf, panther, a rhino, with customizable looks and a lot of different weapons, rocket launchers, blasters, plasma cannons. Can we expect updates with additional content or new game modes afterwards? Other characters, arenas, weapons, etc.
Like I mentioned, we'll be doing additional modes, additional weapons. We'll look to be adding some content for that. Hopefully afterwards. Obviously we'll want to make sure that we're listening to the community But right now with the weapons and the amount of colors and skins that you can use to customize your Sabre, there's a lot you can do. From the visual side, just from colors and skins alone, we have a lot of different combinations, and you can pick it for each one of your different Sabres. But the weapons are really where it comes in, because all the weapons are procedurally generated. So you can get combinations of all the different types of weapons, but they're classified under plasma, rocket launchers, rapid blasters, railguns. And their stats will change as well as their visual to the look. So there's a lot of interesting things you can do there. Plus, with every Sabre, you can equip 2 weapons. So I have one unique weapon that I've got here, and there's the other one. And working together, firing together, creates a unique gameplay for the person. So I could go double railguns, or a railgun and a plasma blaster, or what have you, whatever you want. So, and like I said, visually those change. Same with the colors and everything. There's a lot to stand out.
Yeah, like if I'm feeling really kind of sneaky, and more of a standoff player, I might choose something like the Wolf. AKA Ghost is the code name for Wolf. Because then I can turn invisible. I have a little bit more mobility. So it's a bit easier for me to get up higher. And I can use standoff weapons like, the railguns, which are good sniping weapons, or the plasma weapons, which are, they have an area of effect. So I don't want to be too close to that. Likewise, if I'm, I want to get in people's faces, if I want to get in really close, I might choose something like a rhino, which is very tough. Just really get in there, get really scrappy, use a couple of, short range weapons, like the blasters, and just dish out a lot of damage really close. And, maybe I'll have a rocket launcher as well, just for getting at those annoying, wolves that are perched up trying to kill me from a distance, right? So a lot of options for different play styles.
Yeah. Sabre will be released with 2 multiplayer modes, a free-for-all mode up to 20 players, and a battle royale mode up to 20 players as well. How many players will be necessary to be able to launch a game, considering that there won't be any bots to fill in the possibly empty slots?
Just to clarify, right now we are releasing with the free-for-all modes at start, and we will be looking to release the battle royale mode post-launch.
Okay.
So just to clarify that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the number of players right now in the free-for-all mode is 12. So 12-player free-for-all.
Okay. I believe Sabre will use procedural generation to provide us with as many combinations as possible to customize our weapons, but also generate new maps. Could you tell us more about that?
Sure. We're not randomly generating new maps.
Yeah.
That was something that we were working on at one point. But when it comes to arena shooter, and eventually when we start moving into Battle Royale, having a set number of maps which are designed by designers here makes it a lot more easy to balance. Initially, we did have some procedural map generation there, but we found that for balancing, it was too much of a ball of wax just to make sure that it's going to be fair for everyone going on there. So rather than doing that, we actually created a system where we can assemble new maps very, very quickly using these modular pieces, and then provide those as updates to players post-release. So yeah, you could look forward to having some different maps on there, and tell us your favorite. Tell us what you like.
Okay.
We'll be looking to see, which maps are, played the most, which people, we can see that kind of thing. So based on the favorite types of maps, or the ones that don't get played as much, that'll allow us to sort of, as well as engaging with the community through, websites and social media, we'll be able to quickly custom craft maps to adhere to new play styles. So, if you like very platform, high jumping things, we can work towards those very quickly, as well as you want more of an open, flat sort of area. Again, we can accommodate those post-launch.
Yeah, I mean, right now each map accommodates several play styles at once. There's some pretty distinct areas. We have some very vertical maps. We have more spread out maps, but it's all based on those cool platforms that we can kind of mash together these different worlds, in a cool kind of way that flows nicely.
Okay. Are you able to give us the exact release date as well as its price now?
Yeah, we will be launching July 23rd at a price point of $19.99, and that's Canadian, 2019.
Yeah.
So very soon, next week, or whenever this airs.
In the Europe store too?
No, we'll be releasing North America first, and then Europe and Asia after that.
Okay.
So July 23rd is the North American release date, and then the European one will be posted shortly after that, but I can't give you a confirmed date on that one. If you're looking for a first-person style shooter where you can move freely and you want to fight, different people using different mechs, if you're into mechs and animals and lots of weapons and a very easy to pick up play without teleportation mechanics, it is a free roaming arena PSVR, then Sabre might be right for you to try out.
I like to think of Sabre as being not to toot our own horn too hard, but when I think of, what is awesome, I think of Sabre. Because, if you type in the same results into Google, images, you get stuff like T-Rexes in fighter jets, you get Batman fighting a shark with a lightsaber, you get some pretty absurd mixes, which are really just kind of silly, but amazing and awesome. And that's what I like about our game, is because it's big, gigantic robotic animals with huge freaking guns on their backs that just want to blow each other up. And yeah, it's a really fun game. It's a really cool premise. It's light. It's pick up and play, and I like that awesomeness about it.
There's a Power Rangers touch on it.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to lie. There's a big influence from those cool kind of 80s, 90s, like big giant robot whatever, right? I mean,
toys and cartoons, yeah.
I mean, that's what we kind of grew up with, and that's what's still kind of kicking around today, right? So, I mean, I don't know if that's ever going to go away. It's fun.
Okay. Well, that's it for me. Thank you, Chris, Klein, and Robin and Drew, for all the information you were able to give us about your upcoming game, Sabre, which is coming to our PSVR. I wish you all the best for this third PSVR title, and I hope to see you in a few years for a new VR4 player interview about its successor.
Yeah, well, we have got a lot of... We actually have a lot of interesting things going here behind the scenes, and we can't wait to share more details about that in the future. So we look forward to it.
I can't wait too.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Sebastian. It was really nice talking to you.
Thank you to us.
To everyone.
To everyone.
Hooray for us.
Hooray.
Thank you to everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.